So, good evening, everyone. Um, what I'm going to talk about today is part 2 of what I have done to keep the legacy of my husband alive, to remember him, to remember his achievements, to keep him alive. Because it's been 7 months since he passed away, and I find myself sinking, but talking about him, remembering him, doing things, physically doing things, helps me. So I know my sister told me that since my husband died that I haven't stopped, that I've just been doing, but um that has been my way of coping. So today, and like I said in my other video, I said I was only going to tell you the things I've done. I'm not going to say things I'm going to do, because like I said earlier, you plan something tomorrow, but then God comes and tells you that you have no power. He decides whether you can do anything. So I can only talk about things I've done to keep my husband's memory alive. So one of the things I've done since he passed away is to finish the work he already started. So he finished his house, but there were, the finishing touches. For example, the kitchen. So after my husband's burial, when I was in Nigeria in May, what I did was, the kitchen was already planned. It just that it wasn't executed. So what I did was, I contacted the man who already gave us a quote, who already gave my husband a quote. I contacted him, and he's based in Lagos, and he immediately said that he would deliver the kitchen within 2 weeks, a week. I was like, what? So whilst in Nigeria, I decided to do that. Don't forget, once you have a kitchen in a house, you can really start using that house. And the other thing I'm going to say about my kitchen is that you can buy a kitchen of 500,000 naira. You can buy a kitchen of 1 million, 10 million, 20 million, 50 million. You do what you can afford to do. You don't do things because Simone or this person or that person did this. You do things within your own range, okay? And I feel that the kitchen that we eventually got was within my own financial range, okay? And when you're making this type of decision, do not listen to anyone. Go with what you want. Nobody is in your pocket. If your pocket is deep or shallow, it's no one's business. Because there are people who will tell you, oh, that kitchen is too expensive. Expensive for who? Or cheap for who? So go with what you want. So I did my kitchen, and it was done within. The young man came. It was delivered from Lagos, and the young man who was installing it stayed in my house. That's the other thing. Normally they will stay in the house. He was a very, very talented young man of about not more than 30 if I go by how he looked. And the kitchen was done. I bought my my stove from Enugu. The only thing I bought from London was the tap. Okay, it's not here, but I think one day I'm going to next time I'm in Nigeria, I'll try and make a video, and then that will be another session just to show you the kitchen. So I bought a fridge, everything. And the other thing that I didn't buy was the hood. So it came with the actual kitchen, which made it a bit more expensive. But I'm so happy with the kitchen. I'm so happy with the kitchen. It has an island, and it's just okay. The only other thing is that it is white, so you have to be careful about cleaning. I thought to myself, well, that's what I wanted, because it makes the whole place look clean. The kitchen wall was tiled. I didn't choose the tile, and so I wouldn't have chosen that tile. But because it's already there, I thought, okay, that's it. I'm not going to go and start breaking tiles and making things more expensive. The house is already more than overdue. That house is more than 20 years. That house we're talking about is more than 20 years. So I'm not going to prolong the agony of breaking things and starting all over again. No. Okay. So that's one thing I've done to remember his legacy, to make sure that everything he hasn't completed, that I complete it. The second thing that I've done is to put railings in the house. Wow. This one was a journey. What I did was I went on Instagram and found this young man. But before I went on Instagram, what I did was to start looking around, and some of the railings I was seeing were stainless steel, some of them made somewhere, and I just did not like the look of them. Okay, I just did not like the look of them. I wanted something a bit more special. So I went on Instagram and I saw this young man. God, that man is, if you know that, if you say that this is a master, that man is a master. That man is a master. When I looked at his Instagram, he did railings for Obi Kubana, he did railings for senators. His handle was just full of. So I thought, no, this young man will think I'm a joke. How dare I go and ask him? But then I thought, if you do not ask, you do not get. So I went, I contacted him, and lo and behold, that's one thing. When you meet professionals, people who love their job, lo and behold, within the next day, this young man contacted me, asked me where the house was in Enugu. I told him, and he told me that he was coming to Enugu. The young man lives in Abuja, for God's sake, but his actual company is based in Enugu. So he told me, I'm going to come. I said, look, I don't live there, but if you tell me when you're coming, I'll make arrangement for somebody to let you in. Do you know that this young man went to the house, made arrangement with one of my brothers, went to the house, measured, and then, he asked somebody to measure first. So somebody came and measured. And then he quoted me. So when he quoted me based on that measurement, I saw some discrepancies, and then he decided, no, let me come and do it. And he came. I was like, and when he came, he told me what he want, that he could do it. And then before I knew, he sent me 4 to 5 to 6 samples of stairs to choose from. And this is when I consulted my children, because don't forget, when you're trying to keep a legacy, the legacy is not for you. This house that I'm trying to make livable is I'm not actually doing it for myself, because my husband used to say, this house I'm building for my children. This house is for my children, it's for my legacy, it's for my children's children. So it's going to be one of those houses that you can never sell. You can never sell. So is telling my son already knows anyway. My son already knows that he will never sell that house. So it depends on the next generation to keep it. So, but for me, I wanted something that is going to be durable. So my children chose a particular design. My sons chose a design and my daughters chose a different design. And then I made the last decision. And I think the decision I made, the one I chose based on their own choices, was, I even went against myself because I reasoned in the end, yes, that this is the best choice for this house. And based on that, he quoted me. And when he was quoting me, I said to him, look, you know, I'm a widow. I'm the only one. There's nobody giving me money. I don't really have anybody. I'm now a single sort of woman paying my bills. Nobody's helping me to pay my bills where I live in the UK. So please do. In fact, it's not was, he's such a professional. And the thing is that I've never actually seen this man. If I saw him walking, I might know him because I've seen his picture. But have I seen him live? No. I haven't seen him live. So I'm now deviating. So he made the railings and he came to install it. The contract was 8 weeks from the time you pay your 85% down payment, because you pay 85 and then you pay 5 and then 10. So I paid my 85%. Don't forget, I don't know this person, but I sent them millions of naira. Because the young man deals in wrought iron. So everything was based on what I saw. And speaking to him, and he came and they did everything. And his men came. They were in my house for more than 2 weeks installing the stairs. I think they installed the stairs. They installed a railing overlooking the living room. They installed another railing in the balcony on the left, and then 2 railings in front of the house. So in total, 5 railings. As we speak, the work is finished, but I haven't seen it, except from the video. Even the video he sent, I don't really, But I've already heard, somebody was telling me, oh, you paid too much. Somebody told me I paid too much. And when people tell me I pay too much for something, you have to be careful who is telling you that you paid too much. Okay? Because my thinking, you think I pay too much. But don't forget, there are people, to you, I pay too much. But as far as I'm concerned, that is where my level is at, what I paid. If Obi Kubana is doing his railings, it will go into probably hundreds of millions. That's where he is. And if you go to that man's Instagram handle, then you will know that my own project was chicken change for him. Anyway, I digress. So go for what you want. Don't let naysayers stop you. Just do it. Because I believe that if my husband is looking down and seeing that, okay, I know my husband was careful with money, but he loved quality. He loved quality. So I think when he sees that, he will like it. I haven't seen it myself. All these things I'm telling you, I haven't seen. The only thing I've seen is my kitchen because I was there. Okay. So the next thing I've done to keep his legacy alive through making sure that the house he left is made livable is the wardrobes. Okay. So I got some quotations from the man who did the kitchen. At first, the quotation, he gave us two quotations. First of all, he went into the house, measured everything, and he gave us two quotations. I have 4 bedrooms upstairs that needed wardrobes. 4-bedroom upstairs. So I decided to just do the 4-bedroom upstairs, and he gave me 2 quotes for 2 different quality of woods. Okay, so if you want this, it's going to cost you that. If you want green core or whatever, this is what it's going to cost you. So after I told him, look, you need to bring things down because this is too expensive. This thing you quoted me is too much. You need to bring it a bit down. And he did. So when you're negotiating with these people, don't be afraid to push, because sometimes in Nigeria they might give you a quote based on if they come and see that a house is big, they'll give you a quote thinking you have money. So I told him, look, I do not have money, one. Secondly, I don't have anybody bankrolling me. I don't have anybody. I'm the only one paying my bills, my electricity bill, my gas bills, my water bill, my what they call house tax, council tax. I'm the only one paying all these things. There's nobody helping me. My children are managing their own life. So at least when my husband was here, we had 2 incomes, but now he's no longer here. So if you're not willing to do this, I'll go and look for another person. And lo and behold, he knocked off some money. So now so far I've paid him 85% of because normally you pay off for 85% of the work. So I'll now pay the remainder once he finishes. So that is where I'm going to stop it. No, that's not where I'm going to stop. In London, I've also been doing so many things, because before my husband had a stroke, we moved from the family house in London to the outskirts of London, because the children were grown. They have their own place and they are getting on with their lives. And then we came here, here we were living, and disaster struck. That's almost a year after my husband had a stroke. So I never really paid attention to the house, nothing, because the focus was to get him okay. So when he died, and I thought, God, what am I going to do? I decided to also look at the space I'm living in, because sometimes a lot of us a lot of us, I don't know, I don't understand people who do that, but that's their business. A lot of us spend so much money for where we do not live in Nigeria. As in, they'll say, if you see my house, if you see my kitchen in Nigeria, I mean, what is that? Okay, what is that? So what I decided to do is got somebody to come and paint my house from paint my bedrooms and paint my living rooms. And then I also put some carpets in my garden. I fenced my garden. So that's why my sister has been telling me that I've been doing too much. That's probably because I've been doing. Now that I'm doing this video, I'm a bit calmer because the anguish of the past 7 years is coming down. And I'm noticing also that this video I'm doing is helping me. So if you like the video and you want to know the next things I'm going to be doing, I think the next video might take some time. That's going to be part 3 of my what I'm doing to keep my husband's legacy alive through making sure that his house is done and livable. So if you want to know about that, then subscribe, like, and also share. So what I'm going to say before I go is, live your life. When my husband died, I was so broken. I went to my Bible. I'm still broken. And when you read the books of wisdom, you read the books of Proverbs, Ecclesiasticus, and you read these passages, then you begin to see that really that you should mourn your dead, but do not be foolhardy and join your dead. Wait for your own time, because we are all on our journey. My husband's journey came to an end when it came to my end. When it came to an end, mine will come to an end when it will come to an end. Okay, but when you're living your life, before that end comes, try and make yourself happy. Try and give glory to God. Try and help people in your life. Don't ever be a reason. If you're not able to help anybody, don't be a reason why somebody cries. I keep saying it. And as women, try not to be a reason why your fellow woman cries. When you hear something about, it's even in the Bible. I'm not one of these Bible people, but it's even in the Bible that when somebody comes and tells you that A, B, C did this, go make sure you verify. Because there are people who are purely wicked, jealous, want to undermine you at every level. So if you're that sort of person, pray to God. Because if you're that sort of person who wants to be nasty, mean, jealous, pray to God for God to help you. Pray to God for God to help you. But if you're just a normal human being like myself, who loves fellow human, I'm quite a very private and introverted person, but I I love humanity. I will not be a reason why a human being suffers. If I can help, I will help. Not stupidly, but if I can help, I'll help. So I'm going to leave it here because I can see I'm ranting. So like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye. My name is Simoneokolo.